Hello. In most of the United States, citizens rely on elected representatives to draft and pass laws, but in Arizona, the people are more than just voters. They can be a direct part of the legislative process. Known as the fourth branch of government, the powers of initiative and referendum provide this legislative opportunity and have been at the center of Arizona's state identity since 1912. These tools highlight the idea of the democracy principle, which ensures that when the government is slow to act or step out with the public, the citizens can step in and have the final say. I'm going to explain these powers, how they are used, and why they remain vital to the American Constitution today. To understand direct democracy, it's essential to understand its two main tools, initiative and referendum. An initiative is a proactive tool where voters may propose entirely new laws or amendments to the Arizona Constitution. If the legislature won't pass a law that the public wants, citizens can gather signatures to place that idea directly on the ballot for a vote. A referendum is a reactive power that allows voters to refer a law passed by the state legislature back to the people for the final yes or no. Essentially, this acts as a citizen veto. As defined by the Arizona Secretary of State, these powers are reserved by the people, meaning they were never given away to the legislature in the first place. Creating an initiative or referendum is a complicated and often challenging legal process. According to the Arizona Secretary of State's guidelines, the process begins with the formation of a political committee and the following. Number one, an application. The committee must file an application for a serial number with the Secretary of State, including a 100-word description and the full text of the proposed measure. After that, number two, signature gathering. For a statutory initiative, a regular law, you must gather signatures from 10% of the number of people who voted in the last governor's race. So that number will fluctuate. To change the Constitution itself, that number jumps to 15% of those who voted in the last governor's race. For a referendum, the bar is lower at 5%, and this is often most challenging and time-consuming step of the process. Once you've completed your signatures, number three is filing. Initiatives must be filed at least 4 months before the general election. Referendums are more time sensitive and must be filed within 90 days of the legislature adjourns its last session. And step four is the verification and vote. Once the Secretary of State verifies the signatures, the measure is placed on the next general election ballot to be voted on. So while both initiatives and referendums are tools of direct democracy, they do serve different purposes. The initiative is a tool for change, while the referendum is a tool for oversight and correction. Generally, an initiative is much harder to achieve because it requires more signatures. Currently, it requires 255,000 signatures for a law change and 383,000 for constitutional changes. A referendum requires much fewer signatures, only about 127,000 right now. This difference is because the referendum's purpose is to temporarily halt a law from taking effect until the people can vote on it, not create a new law. And importantly, under Arizona law, the governor cannot veto any measure approved by the voters through these processes, making the people's vote truly final. The debate over these legislative tools has been going on since the formation of the state. The pros of using these tools are the following. These processes allow citizens to avoid potential legislative gridlock. For example, in the school funding trials discussed by Karen Piorg, when the legislature struggles to meet constitutional mandates for school funding, initiatives provide a way for citizens to intervene directly. These tools also empower the public to ensure the government remains accountable to the free and equal elections promised by our Constitution. There are also clear cons of using these tools. Initiatives can lead to badly drafted laws because the wording cannot be debated or amended like a bill in the legislature. There's also the concern of tyranny by the majority, when a simple majority could potentially restrict the rights of minority groups. This is a concern in any state, including Arizona, that is very culturally diverse. High spending special interest groups might also fund these campaigns, and that misses the point of having the power for the people. And it could lead to confusing ballot language that can overwhelm voters or purposely confuse them. So, why does Arizona place so much trust in the people? It's chiseled into the foundation of the state. In Article 4, Part 1, it states that the legislative authority is vested in the legislature, but the people reserve the power to act independently. And as Andrew Hurwitz notes, the Arizona Constitution recognizes voting as the most basic civil right and an essential method of protecting all other rights. By including the initiative and referendum legislative tools, the framers of the Arizona Constitution ensured that the free exercise of the right of suffrage wasn't just about picking leaders. It's about shaping the laws themselves. These tools are the ultimate check on government power and ensure that the state's foundation remains rooted in the consent of the governed. So, whether you're proposing a new path for education or checking the power of a recent law, the initiative and referendum processes are your constitutional tools. They do require hard work, thousands of signatures, and a deep commitment to community. But they are ensuring that in Arizona, we, the people, is not just a phrase, it is the law of the land. Thank you for watching.